For the longest time, I'm certain that Xbox fans were very disappointed as to how many games Xbox did not prioritize during the Xbox One generation. This is why the popular Xbox has no games phrase was pretty much unchecked for the most part. Now, this doesn't mean Xbox didn't have games. There were games, but it just were games that many people didn't see as appealing to them. Now the tables have turned. Xbox is sitting on billions and billions of dollars worth of IP and is sitting on four publishers at the end of the day. I didn't say four studios, I said four publishers. That's different. This means that on average, each publisher is capable of dropping about two games a year. If they all suck, Xbox will get four games a year. If they really suck, Xbox will get three games a year. And these are not just three little games, they're more than likely going to be three significant games annually. When you put all this together, it goes and asks this particular question now. Since Xbox is in this position where it has more games to manage, where should their focus be? The answer is simple. Their focus should be on their studios shipping their own games. The talk about Black Myth Wukong has stirred this thing up. Xbox needed to have helped the developers like they helped GSC Game World. Blah, 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 blah. But we got to understand that GSC Game World, in their case, they were just probably like the studio or the publisher Bethesda, who, in a sense, worked with Microsoft to be able to bring some of their games to the consoles. And so, somewhere, somehow, Phil Spencer is one of those people where, from time to time, he'll probably take on a project, something what I call a labor of love in that sense. So pretty much bringing the studio to the limelight, which had already been a studio that had a lot of support from the PC community for years, made a lot of sense. But now, if you think about some of the ramifications to not managing these studios with what I think is very careful management, you're going to have situations like Redfall happen again. And I don't think that right now Xbox or Microsoft as a whole in their gaming division is in a mood to have that kind of issue occur. Because yes, this game may have had its issues, but the head of Microsoft in the gaming division at the time, Phil Spencer, did not have any reason to come out and start apologizing for a game that could have just with what I think was a little bit of, insight, a little bit of good communication, should have been managed properly, marketed properly, and people should have been held accountable. But I can see how the gaming industry is a very strange place. This kind of talent is a very specialized talent, and there's a lot of competition. So perhaps all of the, logistics of shipping a game probably caught them. And after looking at how much investment they spent and how much could have probably gone ahead to rectify the game, they looked and said it probably wouldn't even be worth it. Simple. So Redfall is basically Microsoft Gaming's big failure for the year that it came out. It's sad. Nobody wants to see a game. I don't want to see a game fail. I don't know, but I can't speak for a lot of people. I mean, seeing a lot of stuff on the internet, it seems like people are just gunning. You've seen a lot of these hyper-PlayStation fanboys come out of the woodwork with the Black Myth Wukong thing, even though they should be sitting there mourning why $400 million was sunk into a game that disappeared, and why more, in terms of that kind of amount, will be sunk into more live service games that many of the PlayStation fans don't want to play. So, again, house needs to be clean on the other side. Microsoft's management in terms of gaming is now to focus on its own studios. It's now to focus on its own IPs. This may take a really strange turn. I'm a wannabe developer. I want to come into the Microsoft ecosystem to launch my game, as well as PlayStation. Anybody who I can launch my game on so it can be available to people, I'll be happy to take. But here's the thing. On the Xbox side, they're already doing a lot. I saw this particular, sentiment that, why Microsoft could have probably gone ahead to help the developers in terms of game science and all that. I said game science, yeah, with their Black Myth Wukong game and stuff. But many people don't really know that Microsoft is the only console developer that I know of that gives development kits for free to developers that are coming up. PlayStation charges everybody for it. Did you know that? They'll give you they'll give you two dev kits. And if you cannot get your hands on a dev kit and you can't wait and they approve you to get an SDK that will work with their engine, you can use your Xbox Series X, S, Xbox One to be dev kits for paying a $20 fee. I don't see how much more support they can actually give from that, from their end of things in terms of just an initial introduction. Everything else that may require extra, yes, could be, in a sense, beneficial for both gamers and even developers themselves. But I guess for some strange reason, a lot of people are asking them to go ahead and do much more than they would even have expected in the past, and possibly risk neglecting the one thing that everybody wants them to do, which is managing their studios, managing their games, and ensuring that those games reach the quality like Indiana Jones did. Or just making sure everybody's on point. You don't have to micromanage everything, but at least ensuring that this kind of quality and the standards and the bar is set properly is good for everyone. And so at this moment in time, nothing beats management both from the Xbox and the PlayStation side. In fact, if anybody can tell you why Concord disappeared and is no longer a thing, poor management can basically be cited, and this would be an on-point diagnostics for it. No doubt about that. Concord was poorly managed. All that talk about is going to be the future of the blah, 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 blah. Poorly managed. Poorly designed, poorly structured in terms of what they would actually offer players. The launch was weird. They wanted you to come in and pay, $40 or $30 for this live service game because they thought they could achieve what Helldivers did? No. The release window for the game, bad release window, all kinds of weird things. And so if these two publishers do not focus on their own IPs and their own games, they're going to be in a real world of hurt, because everybody else that's their partner or competitor that's launching games on their platform only has that one point of nexus to actually deal with. I mean, look at Focus Interactive, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, has anybody paid attention to Focus Interactive lately? They've been launching so many good games, and for a publisher that launches a lot of AA titles, man, they are doing a lot of work in that regard. They are bringing out games that, even though, Focus Entertainment, did I say Focus Interactive? I meant to say Focus Entertainment. Even though these games may not have been, in a sense, seen as AAA games, their quality can't be denied. Some of them even go out to rank as some of the top games out there, like Space Marine, right? A Plague's Tales, both of them, Banishers, the game, Aliens Dark, Descent, Atomic Soul, Evil West, and a lot of other games that they've been able to put out there. And before you know, you're going to be calling them a AAA publisher. It's that simple, because they seem to have a good management. They seem to have a very good eye, a keen eye on their IPs to make sure that they are vibing very well and vibrant. Because the gaming industry is very cutthroat. Now, they're not making the biggest of sales, but it's only a matter of time before they strike gold, and then boom. That's how it is. So what's the difference? The difference is good management. Good management. And now is not the time to start dabbling into everything else. I mean, we've seen the effects with PlayStation. They were spending money hatting everybody else's games. So now that they're in deep 8-year development cycles, 6-year development cycles, the people who bought PlayStations for exclusivity will have to either wait or brag about third-party games coming to their platforms, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's good. Or third-party exclusivity if it's available. A very interesting place to be. Talk to me in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching the video. I appreciate you guys' time and audience. Hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.